Hey Trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Trackies, well. Big things happening, big announcement. Well, a lot of you should know by now, but still, Brianna Liston has signed a name, image, likeness deal with Adidas. Whoop whoop! Congratulations are in full effect for Brianna Liston on taking this step in what we hope will eventually become a professional career in track and field. Track is we are so excited for her. Y'all know she is a phenomenal athlete for Jamaica from the junior ranks. She's no longer considered junior since she will be turning 20 this year, but still a lot, is put on her as it relates to what we hope to see in the future from her. And she took to her Instagram, and this is what she had to say. Now, you know, our athletes are God fearing, so yes, they definitely have to start there, right? She said, "For it is God who works in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure." And then she, caps it off by saying, "Blessed to announce my partnership with Adidas through NIL." Woo! We are so happy and we are excited for this step with Brianna Liston, of course. Adidas swooping in and of course realizing that something is there with Brianna Liston and beating out everybody else as far as we're concerned and snatching her all the way up. Again, congratulations to Brianna Liston. But track is, y'all know I did a video recently talking about Brianna Liston and what she could potentially be doing this season. Now, seeing this, new deal with Adidas on the, in the back of my head, I'm like, something is cooking, trackies. Something is coming. Something extremely special is about. We're going to see something launch and we're going to be utterly, flabbergasted when it actually hits us, trackies. Now, I'm kind of dubbing this right now the LSU effect, right? So, I started to really think deeply now about this whole Brenna Liston thing. Now, I talked about her potentially being a 10-7 athlete this season. She could leapfrog a lot of the athletes, right? And get to that level. Why did I say that? Because in my mind, potentially, from 2 years ago, she was a 10-9 athlete, right? Sub 11 athlete. So with that said, we could definitely see her get into those realms, right? Track is, so with that said, I'm like, all right, let's take a look at another phenomenal athlete that was also, part of LSU that in her 1 year literally shot up and did phenomenal things. And of course, I'm talking about Sha'carri Richardson. Now, this is Brianna Liston's second year, but again, as the coach pointed out, in her first year, he realized that she couldn't manage the training. So, that he kind of pulled back on her a bit, gave her some time to build. And then, no, this year is the year for unleashing her, right? And so far, so good, right? So, when we go back now and we check on Shakira Richardson, I spoke about this already. In that 2019 season, I'll never forget, my sister kept harping on her because she watches these little junior American leagues, right? I don't really pay attention to them, but she definitely does. And she was like, watch out for Shakira Richardson, right? So I'm watching her. She didn't get any faster than 720, sorry, indoors at the time. So I was like, I'm not really seeing anything special. But track is, when it comes to running, for me and feeling out an athlete, it takes time, right? So I didn't really know where to go with my thought process because again, I was just introduced to her pretty much. So I just kept watching and I was like, all right, let's see. But towards that NCAA at that NCAA final, Shakira Richardson dropped a phenomenal, and to this day it's still the unofficial under 20 record, right? 10.75 seconds. No, that Shakira Richardson was coming from an 11.28 seconds. And that 11.28 wasn't even the year before. It was the year before that, right? So that was 2019, 2017, right? So that's when she ran that 11.28. So on the back of that 11.28, my sister's like, look out for this girl. She is phenomenal, right? Into 2019, after joining LSU, running at the NCAA championships, BAP, 10.75 seconds. Left me floored. I could not believe. I could not believe the time I saw her drop. So with that said, I'm bringing things back to Brianna Liston. Even if Chucky's, you keep her time at 11.14 seconds, right? What are we going to be getting from Brianna Liston this season? And in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking, was Adidas, keyed in on the potential that Brianna Liston will be doing this season? We're not talking about the future because yeah, you can look at the athletes and say to yourself, okay, in another 2, 3 years, we can definitely see it running so fast. Is it something that they're pretty much put their hand on and say, yeah, man, this is something what gonna happen this year. It's not gonna be any later. This year it'll happen. You know what I mean? So if yeah, even though it's the future, I mean immediate future, right? So with that said, Trackies, I'm getting the vibe that look here, there's something a cooking. There's something cooking with Brianna Liston right now. And as it stands, Brianna Liston has a personal best of 11.14 seconds. And she also has a personal best of 22.2, I mean, 53 seconds. That's in the 200 meters. And that was done in some crazy negative wind. Now, track is when we start to do the conversions, it just goes to show you how ridiculous Brianna Liston is going to potentially be this season. I mean, going on the back of that, what was it, 11.26 that was done in a massive negative 2.8 meters per second wind. It takes you someplace close to sub 11, right? And then, the 22.53 takes you I believe, in the 22 twos, right? So, with that said, 2 years later, what is happening? What do you think is going to be happening with Brianna Liston? And is this a sign? Is this NIL deal a sign that something dangerous for the rest of the Jamaican women is coming? And it comes in the form of none other than Brianna Liston. Trackies, I am super excited. So far, when I do the cross reference between sha'carri and Brianna Liston, the only thing that is remains the same, clearly because they're not the same two athletes, right, is that were both phenomenal athletes at a young age, and a lot was expected of them going forward in the future. But as it stands right now, when you look at the upside in terms of where Brianna Liston is coming from as a junior athlete versus where sha'carri was coming from as a junior athlete, you start to say to yourself, huh? Right now, when you look at personal best indoors, Brianna Liston is already at a 707, right? And that's just at the beginning of the season. We just start. You know what I mean? We're not even warm up yet. You know what I mean? That is just, barely touching your toe in, and let's see what's happening, right? So I'm telling you, trackies, whatever is going on, but something is going on, and I feel it in every every bone in my body is telling me that something phenomenal is coming from Brianna Liston, and you guys better watch out and do not be shocked when something phenomenal drops at the end of the season. But anyway, trackies, that is it. So Brianna Liston clearly signs an NIL deal with Adidas, but I believe on the back of this, we should take this as a sign, as something that is coming with Brianna Liston. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.